Oh teacher, I need you.
Hi, welcome to Now Noah Knows. I am Noah Margo, and I am here with Sue Yovetich today in the first of what I hope will be a series of videos that shows our wonderful faculty in Beverly Hills, and I'm going to learn some stuff along the way. How long have you been here?
So I'm just coming up to completing my 16th year here at Beverly.
Tell us one thing about yourself that nobody really knows.
I'm Canadian. Is that interesting?
For me it is.
Okay.
I love Canada. What am I going to learn today?
Because we only have a little bit of time together, we're going to learn the bones of the appendages, which are our arms and our legs. How many bones do we have in our body?
Over 100.
Specifically, we have 206 bones.
The first thing I tell you and remind all of us is we are symmetrical. We have two sides, so we can split that 206 immediately into 103 bones.
So ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
there's the moment.
Right.
Never thought about that. And that's just cut my work 50%.
If you look, for example, at our wrist bones, there's a whole bunch of little carpals, and that's what we call our wrist bones.
We're not going to learn those individually either. We're just going to learn them collectively, so that cuts down on the 103 bones. You know, one thing I like to tell the students is a lot of things in life often feel very difficult and overwhelming and insurmountable. We want every student to be able to relate to, why am I here? Why am I learning this? I'm never going to use it.
One could argue, though, that this is the only class
True.
that you do use every day of your life.
Let's just start with the arm. You can see the arm here. Do you know what we call the upper bone of the upper arm?
Yes, you mean like on lefty right here?
Right,
That one?
exactly, yes.
Yeah, that is the funny bone. So that's always easy to remember. It's the humerus.
The two lower arm bones, again, a little hard to see here, so I'm going to hold them up. We've got the radius and the ulna.
If you attach the ulna onto the humerus,
That's the elbow. And the one way I remember the ulna starts with a U.
when we hold it horizontally, you see a U, which stands for ulna.
The radius actually positions itself right below, and it rotates around the neck of the ulna. So the radius is different because it has a round nub on it. So I'm going to remind you, our humerus, our upper arm bone. This is our ulna, lower arm bone, and this is our radius with the round nub.
Are you ready to move on to the leg?
I'm ready.
Bones develop and continue to increase the circumference and the thickness by putting pressure on those bones. So as you can tell, we're not four-legged animals. But if we were, these bones up here would be just as thick. I tell you this because that's something you're going to use to compare to make sure, oh, this is an arm bone versus a leg bone.
Here is our femur, and this is the upper leg bone, and it is the strongest bone in the body. And because it is carrying all that pressure constantly every time we walk.
Half that pressure, you told me. Right?
True. I'm going to show you right now, sometimes we get confused with this humerus. How can you look at these two and say, well, they're different?
The ball has a little bit of a neck leaving the body of the bone, so it kind of goes off on an angle to the side, which again, and I brought out a pelvic bone, a hip bone to show you where it actually will articulate and it goes in here. But you notice it goes straight up and then it goes off on an angle. That's a little different. This one goes straight up, right?
Got it.
No neck on this one. All right, so let's get to those lower leg bones. Tibia, fibula. Why would this one be thin? What would that tell you about the function of this bone versus this bone?
It doesn't carry as much weight.
Exactly. This actually acts as a stilt, believe it or not. If we did not have the fibula, we would not be able to stand up right without wobbling. Our balance would be very much impacted.
Fibula, you are a rather important bone. I take it back.
Test time, Noah. We're going to see how you did in a very truncated, short period of time of learning. Normally, the students would work with these bones all over the place doing different things for quite some time.
This is what we call a bone bell ringer. There you go.
There you go, camera. All right.
So well done. I think you have an advantage because you did take physiology in high school, correct?
Yes, as if it were yesterday.
Yes, of course. That's
There,
exactly.
teach, there's my paper.
So 100% for you.
Well, I attribute a lot of this to the amazing teaching that I received here today, which is the whole point of this, is to see not just learning about three bones, but learning a better way to teach things that'll help students not only in your class, but throughout school, throughout college. And that's what we want to do in Beverly Hills. We want to be able to make lifelong learners that appreciate learning for the sake of learning. Sue, thank you so much for having me in your classroom. Thank you very much for joining us. And now, Noah knows.